a few months ago, I made a video. I made this video outside on my rocks, and this video was called The Technical Side of Balisong Flipping. That video performed very well for one reason. No one knew what Balisong tech was. Balisong tech is still a fairly new term, and it is being implemented by more and more people by the day. People are reinventing flipping through Balisong tech. And a lot of people who may not even know it are slowly becoming tech flippers or implementing tech into their combos. Now, that video kind of covered a lot of the bases to where this video might seem like it didn't need to be made. However, back in the day, a whole 6 months ago, even less than 6 months ago actually, I did not have Instagram. I currently do have Instagram. You can go follow my Instagram in the description of this video. Almost to 1K followers. We're getting up there. But by almost, I mean like 250 away. But anyways, joining Instagram, seeing the Balisong community as an actual whole, all of the flippers being on Instagram, everyone from all different flipping styles, people I didn't even know existed, who are actually like quite big in this community, are there. And that includes more tech flippers than I could ever fathom. And a lot of these flippers wouldn't even say they are tech flippers. And currently, now that I know much more about tech, I would agree with them. Now, I saw some comments, or I got in a discussion with people regarding that tech video about how some flippers who I listed in that video are more conventional flippers who just do a lot of tech tricks. And now that I've matured a lot in this hobby, in my flipping, like a lot since that time, I completely agree. One flipper who I listed in that video as a tech flipper was Banks. Banks of Rome, just goes by Banks now, Banks QRO on Instagram, who I truly believe to be the greatest flipper in the world, not just because he won BaliComp, but because of how he is reinventing flipping, making up so many new tricks, getting just his special flow. Like, if you asked a lot of people, really anybody, who the top 3 flippers were, there's no doubt Banks would always be in there. And I think he rightfully deserves that spot. But I listed Banks as a tech flipper because a lot of his tricks that he would do were techy. He was a big fan of the reverse chatter, which I did call a tech trick, and I still believe has a lot of technical elements to it and may still be a tech trick, but that's just another label that a lot of people will butt heads on. But Banks being a conventional flipper is obviously very true. He does a lot of tricks, not all tech tricks. He incorporates a lot of technical tricks into his flow, into his flipping. But there is no doubt he is a conventional flipper. He flips just like everyone else flips, but he has his own flow, of course, just like everyone else. And he is by no means a full tech flipper. Now, how would I define a full tech flipper? There are a few, believe it or not. And some of these people I didn't know existed at the time of my last video. And now that I do know they exist, I really wish I had known they had existed sooner. One of those people, being a super nice guy who I've talked to on Instagram recently, Mystic. Mystic is a sponsor of Squid Industries, and he is 100% a tech flipper. But he has his own style of tech. I've heard people call it flow tech, and that kind of makes sense. But the weird stuff that Mystic does, I don't even think I can do it. But he'll just do like the weirdest things. He'll like do spine rolls and like I can't even fathom, like I can't explain it in any way, the way he flips. You'll have to look. He actually does have a YouTube. I'll try to have it linked in the description or something. But he is sponsored by Squid Industries for a good reason. For somebody who has such a unique style, like I haven't seen anybody flip like Mystic flips. And he is probably the most technical flipper I've seen. Now, another person who flips very technically and labels as a tech flipper is Odo Kanoko. Now, this dude is a tech flipper, 100%. I believe several other people and Odo Kanoko run like a little tech tutorial Instagram thing. I could be completely wrong about that, but I know several people run that. It's just a little tech channel on Instagram that teaches some tech tutorials, and it's really cool. Good inspiration for tech. But Odo Kanoko has a style somewhat reminiscent of Mystic, but does include some more conventional style stuff, and is mostly tech. I gotta say that. And all of these people who I have mentioned and will mention in this video are phenomenal flippers. I should say that. Tech flipper or not, I absolutely envy these guys' flipping styles. And I know one day, if I keep it up, I'll be somewhat decent at flipping and be up there with them. But I just got to put that out there. These guys are killing it and are just reinventing the style of flipping with Balisong tech. Now, I think that's enough talking about tech flippers for now. Oh my. And in the last video, I talked about some technical tricks. And I did get some disagreement from people about some of the tricks. And I do see where I went wrong. I'm not against admitting where I was wrong there and some of the technical tricks that I said were technical tricks that actually weren't. I was just inexperienced, and I still am partially inexperienced. And if I label a trick as a tech trick, I'm sorry, but it's kind of bound to happen. And I think anyone would make that mistake because Balisong tech is still so young and so confusing. But I don't think I really need to label any technical tricks in this video. There are a lot of good tech tutorials. You can check out Swordfish on YouTube. He is one of the technical flippers who does post tutorials on YouTube. And Shu is not a full tech flipper. He incorporates a lot of technical stuff into his combos, and he makes tutorials very frequently as well. I've mentioned both of these dudes in the last tech video. But I really wanted to make this video so I could talk about where technical flipping is going in this hobby. Because a lot of people, like I said earlier, are picking it up. They are incorporating tech into their combos, into just their flipping style and flow, me included. I, a lot of times, will do technical stuff, like something like what I just did there. I'm trying to get a reverse cherry picker. It's a pretty technical trick because of how it has to maneuver through your fingers. I said I wouldn't talk about technical tricks, but reverse cherry picker is pretty up there. Whatever. But I personally have found myself incorporating technical flipping into my flow, and I really enjoy it. I love how it looks. I like how it feels. It is a great way to improve in a lot of your finger dexterity when flipping. It'll open doors to new tricks that you were struggling with before, I've noticed. Like all the pinky jazz that I've learned, a lot of the pinky stuff can be somewhat technical, especially if you have to roll it around multiple times. Like this right here. I can go from a pinky roll into a pinky chaplain if I do it right. And that right there is tough and is quite technical. But anyway, I kind of got off topic, I should say. Balisong tech nowadays is really getting out there in the Balisong hobby. Lots of people are doing it, and it's really cool to see. One way that we could see that is BaliComp 2024. No, not BaliComp, sorry. WCFC, the far better competition of the year. WCFC 2024 was an awesome experience. I was a part of it. I failed epically, as per usual. But just getting to watch all of my favorite flippers in person, now that I've seen them on Instagram, seen what they can do, learned from them through their videos, and just to see them all compete, go head to head, and for the person who I was rooting for all the way to win, to see Banks win was amazing. But people like Banks and Oximity, those are two flippers who incorporate a lot of technical stuff into their combos. Oximity specifically, another tech flipper who I really should have mentioned earlier. Oximity's style is probably the weirdest style I've ever seen. And that is another instance of redefining Balisong flipping, just completely doing all new stuff that is so weird, so wacky. And I've seen a lot of people trying to learn stuff like Oximity's tricks, and that is really cool. That is just the joy of Balisong tech right there. But anyways, seeing technical flippers, Oximity being in the top 3 of BaliComp, WCFC, 2 years in a row, it just shows that people like Balisong tech. It's such a weird style that the judges are just mesmerized by it and vote for it because it is so clean. And it is just, it's so amazing, Balisong tech. I guess that's why I wanted to make this video. I've been wanting to make this video for a couple weeks now, just because of how far Balisong tech has come, and just how amazed I am by it. But with Banks winning WCFC 2024, it just shows, I think, that although Balisong tech is very cool, is amazing, I think Balisong tech mixed with a more conventional style is what draws people in. Personally, I would choose a style like Banks or Shoe or a lot of other more conventional flippers who do a lot of technical tricks over something like Oximity or Mystic. That is me personally. A lot of other people are starting to join the sides of the weirder, wackier tech flipping. But I like conventional flipping. I like normal flipping a lot. But adding technical stuff into those combos is what just really makes it fun and makes flipping just, sometimes I'll surprise myself because I'll do some weird tech stuff right out of a giraffe, and it just shows how much technical flipping can be incorporated while still having a very standardized conventional style. And with Banks winning this year, and Balisong Nerd as well, Balisong Nerd getting second place, a dude is more of a conventional flipper than any of the top 3. Does a lot less tech stuff, but still some. I think conventional flipping is still on top. Now, don't come at me and say like that the top 3 of WCFC were only up there because of their flipping styles. It's because they are absolutely cracked out of their minds and they train like crazy. I know that. But I still do think that a more conventional style is what the people prefer. And I am not against technical flipping at all. I think that stuff is awesome. But me personally, with my flipping style, I'm going to stay a conventional flipper, and I'm going to learn a lot of technical tricks. But I don't think I will ever become a full tech flipper. It's just not in the cards for me. It's not the style that I like. And I'm starting to do pretty well with a more conventional style. I'm finally starting to find my style. And that is just awesome. But anyways, I think that's about going to do it for this tech video. I wanted to say this at the beginning of the video. Maybe I'll do like a disclaimer or something, or just make a community post about it. But I want to make another follow-up video, the third video in this tech flipping series, to just go over what your guys' thoughts on Balisong tech are. So if you made it this far, go ahead and drop in the comments just like a big long definition of what you think Balisong tech could be best described as, because it's such a broad term right now. It's still so young, so new, that not a lot of people know what it is, and a lot of people think different things about it. And this is just my opinion on Balisong tech. None of this is fact. And I would love to see what you guys think about tech. So go ahead and comment, and I'll make a community post about it later. And I'll tally a bunch of those comments together for the third tech video coming eventually. So yeah, this is a weird, very long video, but I'm glad I made it. This is a lot of fun. Tech is just so awesome. I love to see where it's going in this community. And maybe next year I'll make yet another one of these videos and tech will be in a whole nother place in the community. Man, this hobby is so cool. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Still loving my Chioni, by the way. Peace.